Good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. It's still George Onyibe. And of course, still appealing to the conscience of our people. This morning, I want us to look at the message I still titled, 4 Things We Must Do to Ensure the Survival and the Development of All Communities right here in Nigeria, and of course, the people of the South and my Eka people. There are 4 things we should do as a people if we must develop and of course survive. You see, it's just the same process. There is no alternative. But sometimes we are distracted and ignore the real deal. And only people who can keep you distracted will hinder your development and endanger your race. Look at Nigeria today as a case study. There was a time we had a president known as Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And everybody was complaining, crying. He's a weak man. He's useless. He has destroyed Nigerian government. And everybody who cannot reason, maybe deeply, you will agree with them. Till tomorrow, some will argue blindly that Jonathan is useless. The same Jonathan they are now trying to deceive to come and rule us. If he comes back to compete, that means he's not as wise as we think. And then after 6 years, president by mistake 2 years, president by the people's mandate 4 years, and then he take a bow. We had Buhari. They were shouting, change, change, change. We thought our life would be changed for better. And then in another 8 years, some of you who condemn Goodluck were wishing that Goodluck was the president. And then we suffered this burden for 8 years. Buhari left. And we began to hear another slogan, renew hope, renew hope, renew hope. And Tinubu is here. The point is, Tinubu has spent barely 2 years. And there are people who are jumping up and down telling you coalition, coalition, coalition. Now, let me ask you, if you have the privilege to rewind the hand of time, and they ask you, Tinubu and Buhari, which one will you prefer? I'm not talking about the achievement so far. And I'm sure 99.9% of you will wish that Buhari was here. And if we ask you, Buhari and Goodluck, which one would you prefer? And I'm sure 99.9% as well will say Jonathan. And if I ask you, Jonathan and Yaradua, which one will you prefer? And I'm sure the same number of people will prefer Yaradua. And you see, it is not as if any of them have gotten it wrong or right. But we are misplacing our priority without involving these 3 major, or rather 4 major factors. But they will not allow you to focus on all these things because they have to distract you to always have their way. And I'm assuring you that if we do not open our eyes and stand on our guard, when Tinubu is done with us, in the next 2 years after he leaves office, because he's going to be there for 8 years, except nature calls on him, you will wish that Tinubu will come back, because the next person that will come here, what he will do to us, what Tinubu is doing, is a child's play. But then, these things didn't start today. Solomon was a wise man. He brought Israel or the Hebrews to the peak of their civilization. Development unimaginable. The world were humble at what he could achieve. But the people were suffering, were in bondage, because there were heavy taxes on the people. A lot of things was going on, but yet there were evidence that yes, Solomon was working. And eventually when Solomon died, because they didn't want to complain against Solomon, the people have been able to articulate and know that these 4 things must be initiated. They went to Solomon's son and said, yes, your father did very well. We appreciate everything he has done. But you see, we cannot continue in the same way. This is a moment where our lives are defined. We can't continue this way. Yes, we have built armories. We have built civilization. We have done this and done that, very good. But your father tasked the people very heavily, and he didn't care. He was focusing on one thing and one thing alone. And Solomon said, give me time, let me go for advice. And he went for advice. When he returned, he did not consult the elders. He went to meet young boys like him. Some of you will not ask question. You are looking for who are the popularity, the share, the like. Don't worry. And they told Solomon's son, don't listen to those old men, as they will tell you. Don't listen to this man inside uncompleted building. But the journey has just started. And Solomon's son came back and said, if my father has used one whip on the people of Israel, I will double it. To him, he was invincible. To him, he was untouchable. To him, nothing will happen. Actually, nothing happened. But under his reign, Israel that united under David and was sustained by his father Solomon, all of them broke up. Till today, Israel never regained itself again. Because these four factors were not considered. If you look at Nigeria as we speak, go to Onne Airport. About 20 containers were hijacked or intercepted rather by the Nigerian Navy, or should I say Nigerian Port Authority. I'm talking about Onne in Port Harcourt. In these containers, they were smuggling it through River State. Do you know what the containers was carrying? They camouflaged that it was Bill or Kereka, fairly used clothes. They disfigure or rather deceive you as if some of them were carrying electronics. Some were carrying tomato paste. Some were carrying, all these daily items. But lo and behold, inside them were high drugs, worth over hundreds of billion, not million. Just 20 container, worth billions. But when you open it as immigration officer or custom officer, what you see there is okereka. What you see there is toothpaste and tomato paste and some Tokumbo selling fan. But meanwhile, they don't want you to know what is happening in your backyard. And I'm sure what I'm telling you, 99.9% of River State people did not know that. But you are inside the water, you own the creek because they are distracting you. This is how they do. Let's go back a little bit. If you are in Nigeria, born in Nigeria, or you have access to the social media space of Nigerians, you will know that in the 90s, nobody was shouting, Abo Isibu, Eka Isibu, Ikure Isibu, everybody Isibu, Igbos are in 13 states, Igbo are across the world, Igbo Isibu this. Nobody was doing that. Does it mean the generation of those Igbo didn't have sense? I think they were trying to be sincere. Or maybe they laid the foundation of what is coming out today. I ask you, in 1990, this thing Igbo Biafra people are doing, claiming that everybody is Igbo. Could it happen? Shame will not even allow you to say that. Ikwere is Igbo, Ikwere is Igbo. Even though you say they are Igbo, this is something you just have to deal with. But today, you see them sit down in a fancy room, see them stay in a fancy location, and some useless girls that will not have husband. And some of those useless boys that the drug they are bringing will destroy them. And some of our own foolish people who think they are being popular by destroying the very, very, very fabric foundation of our existence. They will tell you, yes, Igbos are in 13 states. Igbos are in the this. Igbos are in the that. Igbos are in the this. Yes, Agbo is Igbo land. It's a distraction. And all they think they can do is to make us start defending ourselves. We will not allow anybody to put us on a defense position. That is what they do. They commit the crime. They push you on a defense position. And the moment you continue defending yourself, you will not be able to say the truth. You will not be able to see truth. You will not be able to solve the crisis, the chaos, the trouble, the problem they are going to cause for your people. And I want you to check it. And so, what is the difference between those generations and this one now of Nnamdi Kanu and his group? They are trying to distract you. And so, while you are busy trying to resolve all these things, without knowing these 4 factors, they are gaining ways. Let me ask you, as a car people, if a car people have sold 100 buildings in a car land, I'm sure you know that out of that 100 buildings we have sold, a car people did not buy 10. No, a car people bought 10. Some of you have sold your ancestral or family compound to go to diaspora, to do business. Some of you succeed. Some of you did not succeed. Some of you sold your mother's grave, your father's grave, your ancestors' grave. I'm saying Agbo people. Go and check those property. No Agbo person, if we have sold 100, Agbo people did not buy 10 out of that 100. Why? Is it because we are poor? No. Because the last time I checked, if you call 100 wealthiest Nigeria, and I'm telling you that only a car people have more than 5, only a car people, I'm not saying Anyoma, only a car people, we have people that have money. But what are they doing with the money? Why is it that none of them can buy this property over from our people? Go to Benin, go to Port Harcourt, go to everywhere in the South. This is the true scenario. And nobody have taken time to ask a self question. Why is it that we cannot buy our own property? Why is it that Igbo Biafra are the one buying our property? That is distraction. And so they want you to begin to think, oh, you are doing saga, and they are pushing container of drug into your community. This Igbo Biafra. Go to One and find out. We are doing saga. Their mind is that they are distracting us. And what they are doing is infiltrating us and damaging everything about us. Nigeria is doing saga. While you are doing saga, some people are making the country to rotten from its decay. And they come out and tell you we are Biafra. We are fighting for self-determination. We want to this one to want to go. We want to go. They are distraction. But behind that distraction, they have an agenda. You can call it conspiracy theory. When we were small, an Igbo man will probably tell you, Igbo Nweze, we don't have a king. And that is the truth. It has its advantage, but it has its disadvantage. Because if they have had a king, they will not allow this stout on the road to lower their value system. But then, everywhere now, they are having king. You know, they don't want us to see it, but they are not my concern. Oh, king of Igbo people, king of Ghana people, I want you to look at the handwriting on the wall. Ghanaians are somehow being irritated by Nigerians. A crime not all of us commit. The hatred of South Africa for Nigerians has eaten deep into their marrow. Only God will save us. I have not talked about Kenya, to mention but a few. Imagine if all African countries turn against us. It's not as if they can defeat us, but believe me, they will make the life of many of you miserable. And this thing, we don't want to stop there now. They will bring it back home. You know, you can imagine Ghana protesting, Nigeria must go. We don't want them. If we will handle them in our own way. And some of you think it's, but if we could do that, anybody should leave Nigeria, we would have started doing it. But maybe that is what they want after all. And then I ask you, all these things we are doing, they don't used to have king. Igbo Nweze. Today, they have king. They have so many upper socio-cultural groups that represent the interest of their people. These people never cared for us before now. Today, Ikwere Man is the head of Ndigbo. But don't let them deceive you. Because they have two Ohaneze Ndigbo. They say one is original and then one is fake. So which of them? Ikwere leadership, is it the fake one? Or Isi Ozugoro or Isi Kongodi, is it the original one? Don't let them deceive you. I will create scenario with what triggers of this information. Because we were with them. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag so soon. We want to see the worst they can do. And then we will react. It's as simple as that. But then we wish nobody bad. But those of you who are responsible, we are calling you to back off. Because the end result, you will not like it. This is a new era. This is a new generation. All of us have suffered in one Nigeria. And so when we see evil, we can't see it anymore. Look at Tinubu government. He's going to tax all of us till there is nothing to tax again. Who is going to speak against it? When after Tinubu, the next president may end up owing our life. When Buhari was doing his own, everybody was applauding him because he comes from their own ethnic group. And now we have come to a position where you cannot condemn evil, where you cannot call a spade, because somebody will feel hot, and yet we dream of one Nigeria. We're looking forward to one almighty Nigeria. And believe me, our prayer is that God will help us to get to that level, because I look forward to that day where I can see a Yoruba person and I trust the Yoruba person and I can sleep and feel free, not considering if they have interior motive or hidden agenda. And vice versa, the Hausa man. We used to trust the Hausa people before now. We used to trust the Hausa people before now. But look at the reading, look at the trend. They look like a threat, to the extent that I was in a market yesterday. And one Hausa man was selling all these earrings, perfume, all these women property, I should call it. And some group of women were calling, Fulani man come, Fulani man come. The man turned angrily and said, I'm not a Fulani man. I said, I beg, Fulani man come. The man stopped, and if you see the anger, and so I pause and observe. They say, the man said, no, stop calling me Fulani man. I'm an Hausa man. And I pay more attention. He said, no, Hausa we farm. All those tomato, all those yam, that is what we do. Don't call me Fulani. In other words, that guy knows that Fulani people lead cow, and they are responsible for a certain number of terrorism in our farm. Tinubu want to help us reduce market price now so that we can be able to afford food. Start by asking those criminals whether it is Igbo Biafra terrorists in our farm or it is Fulani terrorists in our farm. Because these are the only two people in Nigeria who don't want us to have peace in our space. Every day Fulani headsmen, Fulani headsmen. But they are not my concern. Because somewhere along the line, if we are not accomplished, they cannot have their way in our community. But these Igbo Biafra people, their own is terrible because they are slow poison. They pretend as if one of you. From the inside, they destroy everything about you. And before you know, your people are gone. And remember, we're looking at how we can survive, develop and survive. Every community in Nigeria. Number one thing is, you must know, what do you want? And if I ask you, in this Nigeria, Agbo people, what do you want? In your community, what do you want? Follow, anywhere belief is. But I'm sure you don't know what you want. That is what makes us weak. You come to a restaurant and tell your friend, please, what do you want? He say anything. In my place, anything is considered as shit. You don't say you want anything. If you are an Agbo person, born and brought up, somebody say, collect something. You can't say anything. Because somewhere you say you want shit. There is nothing like anything. Be specific. Okay, just give me water. Okay, just give me mineral. Okay, just give me beer. Be specific. Because anything is nothing. And most of us have lived with this mentality of anything. So anything that comes, go. No, look at all the politicians. Almost all of them now are in APC. The same APC they condemn. The same APC they relegated to the background for a very long time. And then one man that knows what he wants, Tinubu, has made all of them rushing back to APC. It's a shame. That is how you know politicians who don't know what they want. They want anything as far as they get the momental benefit, which is financial inducement. All they want is their money. And so these people cannot come out and say, we want the progress of Nigeria. We want Nigeria to develop. We want Nigeria to survive. No, they don't know what they want. It's applicable to us even on every sector. Ask many people, ask Yoruba people, ask Ishekiri people, ask Ijaw people, as the case may be. Ask them what do they want. Only those who know what they want have problem with Nigeria or are respected by Nigeria. Look at Fulani headsmen. They want your land by fire, by force. Every year they are pushing one cattle ranch to one goat ranch to one grazing bill to one. That is what they want. And if the government don't give them ear, what do? They begin to kill. And every story of killing in Nigeria is tied to Boko Haram or Fulani headsmen. Majority of them, before now, they cannot give Igbo people Igbo Haram. Because they know what they want. It's not for the interest of everybody, but for the interest of their people. And all of a sudden, Igbo Biafra everywhere. They want your land and access to waterway. That is all this Biafra nonsense and all this Igbo unity. They know what they want. Look at the Ijaw people. You recognize them. What do they want? They want resource control. And they have not asked for anything less than resource control. They keep asking for it till today. I'm coming. You know Ogoni people today, a very tiny community somewhere in Rivers State. Because they knew what they want. What do they want? They want the Bill of Rights. And so I ask you again, Eka people, what do you want? Anyoma people, what do you want? Nedi Nwoko want you to be carved to Igbo people. But we say, give us our Onitsha back. They will not agree. They say, you are evil, you are this one, you are stupid. So what do you want? You see now that you really don't know what you want. Just take a look. All the roads in Nigeria, I should say, under the leadership of Ibrahim Babangida, he constructed from River Niger down to Eastern Bypass in Benin City. Outside this road, from River Niger to Okada town, whether you follow through the old road or War Road or all of them are dilapidated. I'm talking about Delta State now. Forget about the one Ibori and Uduanga did on their own end. Do we have road? Do we have anything? And that project by Babangida is almost gone. Today, are they rebuilding the road? They will come and speak big English and talk rubbish. But why are they having their way? Because the people don't know what they want. You see, about 3 years ago, we started campaigning. How come the entire Anyoma land, we don't have flyover? The whole Anyoma from Osimili to Ndokwa to Anyocha to Eka. 3 years ago, we started campaigning, or 4 years ago. Today, we now have one flyover in Kuka Asaba. And then, boom, they want to do another one now in Uromi Junction, Agbo. It's a shame. Agbo that has been there, even before there was a community known as Asaba. It's a shame. Agbo that could predate Urobo and Ishekiri. It's a shame. If you like, get angry, but I'm telling you the truth. Because we don't know what we want. Anyone, anywhere, benefits. We have had our own fair share of representative in the federal or federal character, as they call it. We've been governor of Central Bank. We've been head of the military. I can't forget Erabo. We've been on front line of journalism. I cannot forget this day newspaper. We can go on and on and on. We have always been there. With all this exposure, what have we achieved as a people? Because we don't know what we want. It's not just about Agbo. It's applicable to everybody. But charity begins at home. And so, first of all, you must know what you want. Look at the Europeans. They know what they want at every given time. This gives them information on how to go about it. And when you know what you want, the number 2 things you need to do is, what is the threat? What is the challenge of getting there? I have had so many reasons to back down in many issues, but I refuse to back down. Because I know the challenges ahead, and we prepare our mind for those challenges. And when it does come, we will be ready. Today, Nigeria does not even know the challenge all around her. They tone down on those challenges. Somewhere along the line, nothing will happen. But something is happening already. When Tinubu is done with all of us in these 8 years, if you don't do the right thing, your life will not remain the same again. But don't forget, kingdom rise and kingdom fall. Just Tinubu, less than 2 years, all of you are running temperature. For the first time now, they want to patronize Igbo man. For a very long time now, Igbo people have not been president. We the PDP, let's zone it to Igbo people. You forgot what you discussed behind. But of course, Igbo will fall for you. Oh, it's our turn. Yes, it's true. Yes. But do you know what will happen? These same people will go back and begin to bribe Igbo people. They will bribe Rogers Okorocha. They will bribe Willie Obiano. They will bribe Hope Uzodinma. They will bribe Soludo. They will bribe all of them. Both Namane, Chimalioke. They will go and bring all of them and begin to bribe all of them and make them fight against each other. And then the whole world will say, look at. That is why they are predictable. Because that is how it will end. Just go and look at the body language of PDP as we speak. Now they are remembering David Mark, Robert Shaloa, all those old politicians that is supposed to, they know the game. These are the danger. In as much as we don't want to threaten you, don't threaten us. So when you know what you want, find out the danger. Because everything is not as it seems to be. Sometimes we see challenges. And some people, when they got into marriage, all their mind is going to be rosy as always. No. Prepare for the good and the worst time. There are things your wife, your husband, your spouse could not do on that relationship. You see, the moment you married, my dear, be ready for the unexpected. Those are some challenges. Your girlfriend is coming to see you. He rubs pancake, put lipstick, wear wig. And she's always fresh, smelling nice, adorable. But you think that is how she's going to look when she comes into your house? You're going to break up in less than 3 weeks. Because when she wakes up from the bed, she will not make up. You will see the real person you have not seen before. Some guys, you see them, they don't shave their armpit. When they remember, let me go and see my babe, they spray. So when you are getting married, understand that you've not even known that man. And not until you prepare your mind for the challenges, you are not going anywhere. And today, that is why many ethnic groups, maybe they know what they want. They are not ready for the challenge. Ned Nwoko, for instance, knows what he wants. He wants a normal state creation. And I want a normal state creation. But now, this challenge came. Igbo people have never supported us since we start fighting for a normal state creation. But what we did not understand or envisage is that in a time like this, when one of our own supposedly stand up and say, we want a normal creation under the floor of the Senate, it was sponsored by Igbo people. Now, they rejoice for the creation of the state we long for more than us. Could it be a sabotage? Or could it be another interior motive to destroy us from in out? So Ned Nwoko know what we want, but it's not ready for the challenge. Now the challenge has come. Instead of him to retrace his step and listen to his people, he feels he's a senator. He can do and undo. That power that is shaking all of you. One day you will become so relevant. You will run from pole to pole, looking for who to even give you attention. You will not see them. Look at my brother Emefiele. I hardly see about people talk about him. I hardly see people on social media talking about him. Is he such a bad man? He knew what he wanted. But he did not count on these days. The only people who stood by him now is those who go behind and say, bro, job is strong. Eh? We have talked to the state Supreme Court judge. Yes, we want to see the Senate president. Yeah, we are making effort. Don't worry. That is where it will end. People who sympathize you don't mean they trust you. They don't mean they love you. They don't mean they are with you. And so every ethnic group today, whatever you are doing, we know you know what you want. But what if it did not come the way you were expecting? And the number 3 thing. That is why you have a backup plan. Look at the body language of India. Russia, and China, among other countries in recent time. You see, these people don't actually want to be world power. Because if they want to, they would have run on the offense. Russia has what it takes to disorganize everybody. Let another world war start. But that is not what they want. I can assure you that. China and Japan has what it takes to disorganize this world. Let another world war start. That is not what they want. Excluding India. But you see what they really want. They don't want America to boost everybody inside their pocket. Because under Donald Trump, we see the level of arrogancy unimaginable. But believe me, I love Donald Trump as a person. But he has crossed his boundary. He now makes other people to develop defense mechanism. And so what you see happen there, we're sending a direct signal to them that anyhow you want them, we are waiting. And so India, Russia, China, North Korea or South Korea or any country that were there, they knew what they want, to send a signal and to prepare when it happens. Donald Trump can declare the whole American state as a defense state, war state. It will not change anything. And so you see they are ready. When any country today miscalculate and display arrogancy on a global stage, that country may never rise again. Mark my word. But why did I bring it up? In as much as you know what you want, understand that this thing you want can be antagonized. America want to be world power. People can resist it. Be your world power in your territory, in your space. Because some of these people excesses is getting out of hand. And so the second thing I pointed out is, what if it didn't work out? You think we are here to tell you we are not Igbo or we are not Igbo? You think we are here to disassociate completely from the creation of Anioma State and giving it to the Southeast? Do we have the power to stop it? Do we even know the people involved? But we know we want Anioma. And we also know we don't want Anioma given to the Southeast. And we also know that somewhere along the line, we could have no say. If Tinubu can suspend the People's Mandate sent for Fubara for some reasons and bring in somebody from another state to rule, go and look at how much they are stealing and saying they are projecting. 1 billion naira housing. This one. If you are benefiting from it as Rivers man, you can't hate me. In less than 2 weeks, he may leave office. In another less than 2 weeks. He's spending billions. We know the game. And so anybody can do anything. They can even announce and say, Fubara, you will not come back. You will not do anything. But you can do anything. But if you had not developed defense mechanism for what is to come, how will you survive? How will you sustain the development you have already? And so we wake up one day, you hear it on the national daily. Dan, 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 dan. Anioma State has been thereby created, and we give it to the Southeast. The first president being Senator Nnedi Nwoko. Are we going to fight war? No. But what we are going to do, we have started it already. It may not materialize immediately, but we have started it already. It has started already. And so don't think we have the power to say don't do what you are doing. We don't want it because we know what we want. But we also know you could be able to oppress us. But wait for it. Don't worry. I take Anioma creation to Igbo people. He say, go, Anioma creation, be deceiving yourself. You think we are dumb? You think we are stupid? You think we are naive or ignorant? You think we don't know what we want? You think we have not prepared our mind to live if we don't have it? This is what makes us complete. Number 3, if you know what you want, and then you know you may not have it, the next thing you need to do is to organize yourself. I remember when we were doing Biafra agitation. Buhari did not talk to us at the first stage. And the first time he talked about the issue of Biafra, He was saying that the people are not organized. Let them organize themselves and then maybe meet some of their politicians, and then we can begin to listen to them. Buhari, you thought he's an illiterate. Buhari, you said he didn't finish secondary school. Buhari, you say he can't speak English. Buhari, you say he's anything. Knew that you are not organized. Look at Fulani, one of the smallest tribes supposedly in Nigeria. They have held all of you majority on your heels. They organize themselves. Look at the Yorubas. They organize themselves. And of course, I would say the Igbo. Every one of us are organized. But it depends on the level and its magnitude. Let's use IPOB as a case study. We were not organized. Because every system was actually built to empower one idiot, Colonel Nnamdi Kanu. So he controls security, he controls tradition, he controls everything. He is the, did you hear that? Supreme leader. Supreme leader. When they say you are the superintendent of police, do you know what it means? You look at the military, for instance, there is the naval, the air force, and the artillery. And they have one man that controls all of them. Do you know what it means? That is what Nnamdi Kanu is. But even though one man controls these three arms of the artillery, he is supposed to supervise. Let the naval officer, admiral, or how they call him, let him mind the duty post. Do the water business. Let the one in charge of the Air Force, let him do the air business. And let the one in charge of the land, let him do the land business. And then he acts as a check. Because he's not omnipresent. He can't be everywhere at the same time. But he will require trustees, loyalties to help him pull it out. Organize yourself. Look at the Eka people. Look at Anyoma people. Since we noticed this conspiracy against our people, what have we achieved? Some think it's about the saga. It ends on Facebook. But what happened out here? One of them wrote to me, he said, the time we give you, one Igbo man wrote to me, the time we give you is almost coming up, we will soon kill you. I look at them and I laugh. You see, this matter will enter. Let's get one information that any of our people is crushed because of this matter. We shall know how many will cross that river Niger and go to Anambra. We shall know. And I know get sense. But do I blame you? And so where are the Eka people? Where are the Anyoma people? How organized are we? Being organized does not mean we have to be perfect in everything. Being organized is that we must understand that Neweli won't care for, who are dumb won't care for. We're not organized. If you understand what I said, you should understand. The money you are using to spend now to buy food in the restaurant, it's all because of the stomach. That one you store in the bank account is still all because of the stomach. When we are organized, whether you are in order or you are not in order, we will have a system that makes all of us function as one. This body you see, it's made up of different departments. Some of them seems to be working against each other, but it is necessary. You call one parasite. Am I correct? How much could man survive in the absence of that parasite you call worm? You see, it's very small, so you have to manage it. We have acid in our stomach that has the capacity to even peel our skin if it touches it. But yet, it does not tear our stomach, and yet we carry it around. Why is it there? The body is organized. Some will build, and some will destroy. But ultimately, they are building blocks of life. They know when it is time to maintain. They know when it is time to deploy. And so when I mean organized, don't think all of us are going to be the same. Some of you are doing saga. We want that saga. Some of you are trying to expose them. We want that exposed. Some of you are trying to bring our people. All of them are necessary because in the end, we need each other. There was a time in my community The rate young boys were joining cultism and doing all manner of rubbish was increasing. And so they said they were going to apprehend those youth that were causing crisis in the community, and that they were going to unalive all of them. This was by the consent of the king, and with the connection of one of our brothers that is in the military, retired of course. And so they rounded up these boys while they were having their meeting in the bush. And there should be about 37 of them. And they called the king and said, we have them now. Do we unalive them? The king said, yes, we need peace in this community. And that retired army man said, the king, please, we want you to come first of all, so that we look at one or two things, then we do what you have to do. The king rushed down to the venue, and then he saw all of them. And the retired military man told the king, he said, see, these boys are bad boys. And of course, if we kill them, this community will have peace. But then there is something you have not considered. These boys are the only people that will defend this community in case of eventuality. When the unexpected happens, these are the only people that have the morale to save this community. And so if we unalive them, this community will be defenseless. You think we should still go ahead and unalive them? For the first time, the king discovered that unaliving them is not the solution. Just give them orientation. And these boys were allowed to remain in the community. They warned them. Those boys knew that their life was taken and given back to them in a twinkle of an eye, and they have a choice to make. They didn't kill them. As I talk to you, some of them today are lawyers. Some of them today are pastors. Some of them today are great athletes around the world. And each time I look back at the wisdom of this military man who saved those people and saved my people at the end, I see the power of what it means to be organized. You don't know it all, and I don't know it all. But when we are organized, somebody can step forward and say, this may not be the best option. Let's go this way. Sometimes we have to disagree, but yet agree. Are you organized? Is Nigeria organized? The way we are in Nigeria today. If we have any conflict, let's say war, with any other country in Africa here, you will be shocked that the army they will use to kill Nigerians will be Nigerians. Because there are some people in Nigeria, these Igbo Biafra people, just give them money and tell them, come and help us kill fellow Nigeria. They will not consider the consequence. Because people who will now bring Okereka and hide it with hard drug, fake drug, and push it, working into billions. What will they not do to you? Have they not killed you already? I'm not talking to all the Igbo. When I begin to talk to all the Igbo, you will know. I'm talking to Igbo Biafra. And those Igbo people who are harboring Igbo Biafra from Equatorial Guinea, descendant of Abraham, get ready. You can tell a blind man that there is no palm oil in a soup. He won't know. But you certainly can't tell them that there is no salt. It's unfortunate. So you have to organize yourself. This is how they do it in Europe. Most country you are in Europe, somewhere like Germany, every German citizen is a policeman. They monitor you. They monitor you. All those your children born with German people, they have their data. All of you are on record. They are monitoring you. But they are not wearing uniform. They are organized. And they are not afraid. You can't give them sleepless nights. The moment you are disorganized, you are not going anywhere. Where is Anyoma state creation? Where are all this rubbish? They can only say it in their space. We need to be organized. And that is why I keep calling on the rallying point. Without the rallying point, maybe this is where we will end this journey. But believe me, before our time is up, we will create this rallying point. Not everybody will agree. When Ken Saro-Wiwa did what he did, not every Ogoni people supported him. Go and ask Magnus Abe. Some of them were brutally against him. But if Ogoni is recognized till today, it is because of the rallying point created by Ken Saro-Wiwa. And so I do not expect all of you to see what you are not destined to see, except through the eyes of another man. Do what you are doing. All of us are useful. But the key word is organized. Is Nigeria organized? No. That is a major challenge. Go and look at INEC body language. Go and look at Supreme Court body language. Go and look at the Senate body language. Go and look at the President body language. You will see there is conflict of interest. You will see suppression. You will see defeat. And I could go on and on and on. Number 3. And then the fourth one there is sacrifice. Nothing good comes easy. And they say, no pain, no gain. You see, when I knew the truth about this path I want to follow today, about 90% of my life has been taken. I was completely destroyed. The only space or only thing I could do was just to hang myself. And that is exactly what they wanted for me. But I didn't give this life to myself. And I will not take it. And so, I'm not ready to die yet. But I knew there has to be a comeback. And a journey of 100 kilometers starts with a step. First of all, I have to make the sacrifice. I have to humble myself. I have lived for almost 17 years of my life. I never trekked even 100 feet. If it were possible for me to drive my car inside my room, I would do that. Imagine a community where you live for 11 years. They don't recognize you except your car. Today, they trek like, what do I call trekker? I knew this will come. It's a sacrifice. I couldn't buy data to come online. And so in those days, when I'm talking and I have 3 MB, you want to finish, it will cut off. As so they are Facebook, oh, they are attacking me. My brother, I no want to tell you, say I no get data. You know, she said, I know they attack me again. Now I get data. Now you know. So a lot of things happened. These are the sacrifices we have to make. If I can't buy data, could I feed? Was it that I'm lazy? I cannot make my own money? I know how many people I have used my money, from Visa to PTA to Vaseline to everything, to and fro across the globe. And then all of a sudden, because of Igbo Biafra, that was the sacrifice. And gradually, I will come back on my feet. But that will not stop me from doing what I have to do. There was a time, the few friends I have around Biafra circle, who are not compromised, they started avoiding me. They organized themselves and say, we'll not give this guy a recharge card again. It's insulting Igbo people. All of them pulled back. There was one of them, he used to come on my platform to insult me. She said recharge card. She's in Enugu. They all know the truth. They know my position. If I don't have money because I must come on air, I will tell the girl, please send me a recharge card. I hold that girl recharge card of about 5,000 naira credit, but I come online every day. I don't beg anybody money. That is the sacrifice. The day that girl dragged me that money, I didn't have the money to pay. She told everybody that know me. She's Igbo girl. But God being faithful, another Igbo man called me and said, this girl told me you are owing her. But don't worry, I will pay that money. I said, who am I to say Igbo people are bad? But it was time, sacrifice. And so everything we are trying to do in order for us to develop and to survive, know that there will be sacrifice. Now take Nigeria as a case study. How many people are ready to sacrifice for Nigeria? We want a beautiful nation. They are deceiving themselves. Nobody is ready to sacrifice for Nigeria. Let's assume a president will come in and declare his assets and say, this is my this one, mortgage it and leave it. And then we give him 1-bedroom flat. Maybe pay his children's school fees. We say, oh, yeah, monitor the system. There is no newspaper allocation. There is no girlfriend allocation. There is no NEPA allocation. There is no, all this rubbish is not there. He will survive. They don't need billion to read that newspaper. They don't need 100 driver. And if we have leaders like this, who arm themselves to redeeming accountability, the politics of Nigeria will become unlucrative. It's no longer going to be, fancy. Everybody will run. And then you will see that in less than 3 years, with such leader that is ready to make sacrifice, avoiding the temptation of joining the gang of looters, Nigeria economy will rise. And that is the secret behind many countries you call developed countries. One man was willing to make sacrifice. Because when you loot, I catch you. You must give me my own share. And that is why many of them are involved in the looting, and they will defend all of themselves. Every ethnic group in Nigeria. If you must survive, these 3 things, don't overlook it. And of course, the handlers of Nigeria, you already know the truth. But remember, there is no way out. It's not just coming to say, it's a great nation, we are going to be a great nation. This is what we pray for. This is what we are willing to bleed for. And this is what we want to see the few time we have to spend on earth here. Because we just have one lifetime. Let's do the right thing. And I call upon the South people, and Yoma people, my car people. There is no 2 ways about it. Without a rallying point, we will end up on saga. And for those of you who are doing well already, I applaud you and I thank you. You need to stand your ground very well. Because don't forget, in the process to getting it right, all of us may have to fight ourselves. It happens. Bafemi Awolowo will always, when I look at the history of the challenges and the crises he went through, his kingsmen, people like Bode Thomas and the rest of them, but they were organized. Today, the Tinubu you see is a protege of Obafemi Awolowo. And when this guy is done with all of you, oh, let me go to the comment section and receive my insult. Because I know it's like they are afraid of insulting now. I think I see only one comment here. That is Osa Barua. He said, good morning, wishing you a blessed day. Barua, good morning, and thank you so much. The rest of Biafra can come and drop your insult on the comment section. Or peradventure, we are curing you already. But before you say idiot, rubbish, useless man, Google man, uncompleted, I love it. It fuels me. Because any day I see insult here, whether in or out of this broadcast, I will still return for you. Have a nice day.